We're going to explain a little bit more about TOEFLiBT listening section. In this part we have 6 parts or 6 skills, and this skills is more difficult than reading because you have to take notes. And for the first skills I have the skill 1, understanding gist. In these skills ask you to identify overall information of the or main idea of the topic in a conversation or a lecture. For how to identify those type of questions, so most of the questions comes at the first of the passage. For example, the questions goes in that way. What is the subject of the passage? What is the subject of the discussion? What is the professor mainly discussing? What is the purpose of the talk? Where does the student go to see the advisor? Or why is in the passage? So those questions helps you to recognize that is a gist question. So most of the time in the passage comes one type of this question, okay? And how to answer this type of question? First of all, you have to read all the headlines in each paragraph, and that helps you to identify what it is talking about. So with these little keywords, you can recognize what is the topic. Or if you have some problems, you can read the conclusion of each paragraph to identify what it's talking about. In skill number 2, we have understanding details. In this type of question, asks you to remember specific details in the passage or in a lecture. These kind of questions don't ask you trivial facts, just ask you some specific facts. For example, a way to identify this type of question, you have, for example, what is stated in the paragraph about, what is indicated in the passage about, according to the speaker, what is the professor say about, what does the man suggest, or when, where, or how did, something else. So in order to answer this kind of question, you have to take down all the information as you can. So in that way you can answer with ease these type of questions. Later on we have skill number 3, understanding function. In this kind of question asks you to understand the function or purpose of the conversation of the lecture. Mainly what the speaker said and why he said it. And also asks you to determine the apologize, clarification, change of topic, agreeing, disagreeing. All of those parts comes in the lecture and you have to identify. So how to identify this type of question? Most of the time comes in that way. What does the speaker say this? And the audio is going to replay. And what does the speaker mean? And you are going to listen twice. And what does the speaker imply? And also replay the audio. Okay. And how to answer it? This kind of question you can explicit. You will be explicit. You will ask to explicit information. So you can determine the function of the language according to the tone of voice. So in that way you can easily answer this question. In the skill number 4, I have understanding a speaker instance. So it asks you to understand the speaker's attitude or feeling. So in this part we have to be aware of what the speaker says and what way he uses. For example, if their speaker's tone of voice is like unhappy, so probably the conversation is about something bad that could happen to him. So in other words, how to identify this type of question. So first, in this part we have what does the speaker mean, and also reply the audio. What can be inferred about the speaker's reply also. What is the speaker attitude or opinion? So these phrases helps you to recognize that these are speaker instance questions. So how to answer this type of question? So pay attention how the speaker mentions something, and most of the times this type of question comes with I think, it seems to be. So those keywords help you to answer this type of question. Okay?
Yes. Hey, I am Diego Ramos, and continuing with this presentation, with this listening presentation in IBT test. I'm going to explain you about the listening skill number 5. Okay, and it is about understand the organization. Okay, understand the organization. So it's mainly about the organization, about the ideas in the passage. So it asked about how ideas in the passage are organized. So they are going to be well developed in a very organized way. Okay, so also you can have the types of questions that you're going to have in this part. For example, the first one is why do the speaker discuss or mention? How is the information organized? What is explained or illustrated by the example of? Or click or put a check mark in the correct column or box. So they are going to be the common questions that you are going to have in the understanding organization. Okay, and also you can have some strategies to answer these questions, like for example, you have to listen carefully the details and examples that you are going to have about what they are discussed in the relation of the overall passage, and also look for organized ideas in the passage. So this the key point of this strategy. Okay, the next strategy, the strategy number 6, or sorry, the skill number 6, sorry, is understand relationships. Okay, in this case we mainly are going to discuss about the inferences and drawing conclusions that are very important in this question, in this type of skill. Okay, so it asks you to recognize how different ideas or pieces of information in the passage are related. Okay, so it's important the different ideas or pieces of information that you are going to find in the passage. Okay, so you are going to identify some type of questions. How? You are going to identify in this case, like for example, what will the speaker probably or most likely do next? Yeah. The other one is what does the speaker imply? or reply. And the last one is what can be inferred. Okay, if you listened, if you heard any of those questions, you are gonna know that is understand the relationships. Okay, so how can you or what's the strategies of these relationship questions? Okay, first of all, you have to listen how